Hello and welcome back to Advanced Campaign. I'm Paul.Power and with me are...
Fedule
and Sylphid.
Alright, we have a very special episode today.
Oh dear lord.
I've been waiting for this the entire LP.
You mean you haven't been waiting for rivals?
No, I was always wanting to see how you were going to do the final battle, because that was the last mission I've beaten of this game, and it took me quite a while to do that.
Well, we could be waiting for rivals as well.
Well, I'm not holding out hope for it.
Oh, we all know he's going to do it.
Oh,
I guess Soccer could do it if he ever gets around to it, but I just want to see Paul struggle through this battle.
well, you'll certainly get the struggling part, because the first 6 turns, which is what we're covering today, were pretty hell.
Yeah, there are a lot of units up there.
You don't say.
That is a Doom army in every sense of the word.
God, I hate the first couple turns of Final Battle, even on normal campaign. It's just so demoralizing.
You just get slammed into by a giant... It's even worse this time because it's got medium tanks in it, and while, you know, it's bad enough just be having to deal with all the planes and stuff, but now there's medium tanks as well, mixing it up. It's like, oh...
Yeah, it's a very unpleasant experience all around. You just sit there and getting punched and punched and punched and punched. And then you get meteored, then you get punched and punched some more, then you get meteored again.
At least we get to do some counter-punching with good old Max here.
Yeah.
Small mercies. Max medium tanks against 20% defense less.
Mm.
When I beat this fight, I actually lost Andy about 80% of the way into the battle or so. Just too many of Sturm's forces were pouring at him, and I just couldn't hold him off forever. But I still managed to somehow sneak a transport copter with an infantry up to Sturm's HQ, and I actually finished this fight with an HQ capture, which still amazes me how I did.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever managed to do that on this map.
That's interesting.
It's like it takes so much effort to get enough people up there to get control, that by the time you do that, it's probably just simpler just to rout him.
Part of the reason was that the bulk of Sturm's army was down where Andy's troops currently are, so he had a lot of troops down there, but they couldn't just quickly rush back to his HQ to help out.
They were distracted.
Exactly.
An ingenious ploy.
Good old distractions.
I didn't want Andy to get annihilated, but I just couldn't help it. I just couldn't get enough of Conbay's troops up there to help him out in time.
We should have a version of the crying ABC icon with Andy on it instead. Because that's basically what you did.
Exactly.
You did the ABC strategy with an entire army.
Andy fought valiantly, it just wasn't enough to hold off his entire army.
I'm just thinking about all these things you're saying because Andy taking a pounding is something you'll see in this video.
Yeah.
APC distraction is also something you'll see in this video.
Oh yeah, I had to exploit APC AI weakness like crazy to even get to survive that long.
Yeah, I imagine we're about to see some pain. But first some capturing.
Capture pain.
Because, you know, that's the one thing that Sturm needs.
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough money coming in.
It's only 28,000, I mean, that's only one battleship per turn.
Yeah, there are worse ways to lose your army. You could have had him come down and capture your HQ. And gotten all your buildings. That would have been fun.
Actually, I'm kind of curious now. Sylphid, when you say you lost Andy, did you lose him to rout or capture?
Route.
Ah, that's a relief.
Yeah, when you lose to rout, they don't get all your properties.
I think you'd have just rage quit if you'd lost to capture, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point the fight's pretty much over. Especially if it's Max who goes down.
Yeah, one of the great ironies of Advance Wars is how much easier this fight would be if all the friendly armies were all one army.
Yeah.
You'd be on a fairly even footing, to be honest. I mean, other than Sturm's giant pre-deployed army, property-wise, you could probably So yeah, this is a fairly even battle.
Oh, hey, we got a base and an airport. That means it's going to be okay, right? Right?
Oh, well, I mean, it's too early to say. I mean, even by the end of this video, it'll be too early to say. Is what I'm saying.
If only we could have got one of the bombers.
Well, Max can get the 2 bombers on the left, at least.
Yeah.
Again, with the small mercies.
I don't recall Air Force as being a huge element to this mission because you just don't have enough money to build up a really big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're supposed to be like the spearhead, the fast and punchy kind of play. Doesn't really fare so well on the drawn-out landmass unit slog.
Oh yeah, this is always a grind.
Yeah.
Eventually I do something very interesting with that airport, but that's like...
Spoilers.
It's going to be at least 1 video away.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember how I managed to win this fight the last time I did it without deploying a mech rush.
That's another interesting thing, because the only thing I think the only way Andy's getting out of this is if yeah, mech rush. that's what I do.
Yeah, the mech rush strategy is immortal and invincible.
Just give Sturm far too much stuff to hit. That's the plan, anyway.
Yeah, that was part of my problem, I think, because I didn't really understand the mech rush as a strategy except for Sammy, so I didn't really build a whole lot of mechs with Andy, and that probably made a difference, because I had a few expensive units that could do a lot of damage, but they just eventually get destroyed by sheer numbers.
Yeah.
What I'm thinking here is that I need to get that infantry on the airport, but those 2 AAs can't hit it at the moment. There we go, problem solved.
Medium tanks solve everything.
Especially Max ones.
Especially against Sturm ones. Now, if it had been on the road, that'd have been a victory.
Pretty much.
You know, insofar as leaving something on 1 HP is not a victory.
Yeah.
Can make all the difference sometimes. Luckily we had some backup.
Yeah.
So what were you saying before? I just ran in with the talk about medium tanks, but...
I'm pretty sure I'd finished saying whatever I was saying before.
Okay, cool.
It was just the ubiquity of the mech rush strategy.
I mean, the best counter to it is infantry rush.
Oh yeah, if they're gonna play the Zerg game, then you just have to play the Zerg game even better.
Out Zerging.
Yeah.
Maybe throw in a few recons if there's some roads around.
Yeah, you gotta love the balance in this game. Like the later games did some visual touches and had a few quality of life improvements, but I think they've always had the unit to unit, strategy to strategy balance pretty much nailed on the first try.
True. Just a shame about Max going ha 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 for everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Max is a little overpowered in this game, I think.
Just a bit.
I'm trying to somebody like one of the big magazines I think recently. I think I want to say Edge.
Yeah, it was Edge.
Yeah. Oh, you see where I'm going with this? Yeah.
I linked it in the chat.
That might be where I heard about it. I know somebody brought it up for some other game. But yeah, they did their big looking back retrospective, and it turns out they really, really, really like Advance Wars.
They retroactively gave it a 10. It's one of the few Edge 10s.
Yeah, one of the most perfectly balanced games ever, they said.
Well, it's good. What can I say? At this point, what do I say? It's good.
Yeah. Although, for the first couple turns of this mission, it sure doesn't feel balanced. Actually, no, we're still in the pre-hurt phase.
The battle hasn't really begun just yet.
We haven't even seen one meteor strike yet.
Yeah, he's barged directly into our murdering zone, and we've duly murdered a couple of his units. Well, that endorphin rush isn't going to last long.
I think the problem with the AI in this fight is that it has so many units to throw at you, it can't really concentrate on any one army. So it has all this strength, but it's so spread out, it's a little more fair. But if I were the AI right now, I would just throw pretty much all of my troops against one single target, destroy them easily just with sheer numbers, and then focus on the other two.
Just send everything at max.
Speaking of destroying easily...
Oh, huh.
Yeah, that's really bad. And when I was playing, that was the one thing I never wanted to have happen, a meteor strike hitting Andy.
I figured that... Well, I didn't want it to hit Max, because Max, he's basically the guy who does everything.
Pretty much.
And I wanted to try and keep Drake, you know, make it so that Drake got hit by Sturm's actual stuff rather than his meteors, just so he could charge up Tsunami.
Yeah.
It's a little different from... I mean, normal campaign, you don't want Andy to get hit, because he's got all the... You're relying on him for the technique and power scores.
Yeah, he's the one who gets scored, and he's the one who's like dealing with the massive brunt of the attack.
Yeah.
I mean, there's an air force that can go after blue and after green, but they might just decide to gang up on Andy instead. Like the classic final battle strategy is having, you know, one person on dedicated Meteor duty, and one person on mech duty, and the other person being Andy.
Although I liked how I managed to combine Sammy's role in one of the normal campaign final battles, where she was both taking the meteors and building all the mechs, which is quite fun.
Well, yeah, I guess she doesn't need much in the way of spare money if she's only building mechs.
Yeah.
And the mechs were all very good at combining up again, which is actually what I was thinking of Andy here. If he builds mechs, the mechs can join up after meteors. Because the thing about advanced campaign is there aren't any technique and power scores in advanced campaign.
Is that actually true of all the missions? I thought it was only true for some of them.
Yeah, it's true. I think it's true for all of them. I mean, I've never lost the point to technique and power throughout playing advanced campaign.
Well, I guess you have a lot more recent experience of advanced campaign than I do.
Yeah.
It's been years since I last played this game.
Well, this'll help, right?
Can't make things worse. I mean,
I'm sure those 4 HP medium tanks are going to make all the difference.
well, you know, join them together.
Case. They'll do alright until the next time Sturm gets a meteor strike, although maybe then they'll go after someone else.
Yeah. It's not that bad though. Look, I can do 3 damage and receive 1 in return.
That's not bad.
Yay!
Hey, he's parked a fighter on your HQ.
Oh no! How will I ever...
But the good thing is that all his fighters are pretty much useless since you have no air force.
That was the plan.
See, if Sturm was clever, he'd clog up all your bases, but the AI doesn't know how to do that, so...
They'll do it unintentionally.
I'm gonna shoot this tank with this fighter with a tank.
If only.
Yeah, they do. I mean, sometimes they'll do it unintentionally. Sometimes they'll unintentionally clog your base. Sometimes they'll unintentionally clog their base. We see a fair bit of both of that actually in this mission, I think.
Yeah. Advanced Wars AI manages to be sort of weirdly clever sometimes. And yet, other times it manages to be exactly as dumb as Fire Emblem AI.
APCs!
I like the way Paul put it in one of his Advance Wars 2 updates where he said, because the AI isn't a human, sometimes they'll do things that surprise you. because they don't think in the same way that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're in the same fight, it's just they're not looking at things the way a regular human would.
Yeah. They're always much better at number crunching, and they're very good at sorting.
Hmm.
Which is part of the reason why in Fire Emblem they're so both tenacious and stupid. Because in Fire Emblem everything is numbers, to the point where even all your units are different, and the AI can't guarantee how any one unit's going to be, so all it can see is the numbers. But Advanced Wars AI manages to actually use some tricks which it can only do because of shortcuts, because it knows that all the infantry, other than CO bonuses, are pretty much identical. So it can do a couple of these weird gambits, like trying to do things that it otherwise wouldn't have done if this were a Fire Emblem game.
I think that's the one time I actually get use out of Drake's 2 missile launchers.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising they got any action, to be honest.
Their primary purpose is going to be decoys. They're just going to sit there going, hey, I'm an indirect unit on the front lines. Why don't you attack me?
Also, I'm very expensive. Here, look at me, I'm so expensive. Hey, you up there in the sky.
Sometimes the AI seems oddly smart on occasions in this mission. Sometimes it will go, man, there's an APC over there, but I can't. I must attack this capturing infantry. Which, yeah.
Oh yeah, capturing infantries are the one thing that can reliably distract the AI from APCs.
Fair enough.
Well, you've cleared out the flanks pretty nicely, but Andy's got some problems.
Oh, Andy just... well... I don't know. It's hard to say. As I say, I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
I mean, when I say spoil it, I say it's not even going to come up in this video.
Yeah, spoiling future videos.
Yeah.
Besides, I don't think anyone expects you to actually lose this fight.
Well, put it this way, I wouldn't have put a video up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not this time, anyway.
Hmm.
We expect there to have been some mishaps along the way.
It wasn't. Actually, this is the first attempt.
Huh.
I think there's a certain type of mission that I have exactly the right mentality for, and I think this is that kind of mission. I think Enigma's the same. They're just grind fests, and I go, okay, I can outgrind the AI. That's good. The missions I struggle with are the ones where they expect you to do like fancy, complicated stuff in a handful of days, and I'm like, really? That requires tactics.
Yeah, how long were you stuck on the first Drake mission again?
Well, certainly on like my attempt to do the Sammy version, I was like, ugh,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
That was like 4 or 5 months, something like that.
I don't know if it was that long. It was.
That was like... I swear I remember the thread almost getting archived or something.
Something like that. I can check back. I know I did an April Fool's joke about it. That actually came true, because I was like, yeah, I can't. I gotta do Andy instead.
And what's surprising was the solution to it was so simple, as Soccer demonstrated.
Yeah, I think I tried that maybe once or twice, but things went wrong. So this is kind of my weakness when I'm not very good at following very precise plans. My approach is generally, okay, I've got to try and just think in loose terms and try and come up with a plan that will work whatever I do tactics wise. Just try and come up with a good strategy and not worry about the tactics too much. Which I think he's good in some situations. I mean, it's kind of weird, but like I've had people say I couldn't beat Kanbai's error until I saw your video. You know, Kanbai's error AC, and it's like, really? Because I didn't do that well. I just found a way to hammer through it.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a couple things.
Yeah, I'll be up soon. I have to get ready. Okay.
Introducing special guest star, Sylphid's dad.
Unfortunately.
More guests.
Yes.
You know, it's just as well because I put off doing this video in the hopes that I could get that work done before we started. And then just after we started, they start bugging me about it.
Well, we're halfway through the video.
Yeah, whatever.
The benefits of being in the British summertime time zone is that everyone civilized has already gone to sleep. So we don't get bugged.
But I see Andy's armored divisions have been humbled. Except for that AA up there.
Yeah, hanging in there.
Yeah, this is the point where you have to stop building foot soldiers just to stay afloat of a unit count.
Basically. But we do have one max tank.
And by God, we're gonna get our money's worth out of that guy.
I hope he doesn't get killed too soon.
Oh, well look at all those medium tanks up there.
They might all get distracted and attack Andy's mechs.
But I don't want that to happen either.
Well, this is one of those missions where a lot of the things that you don't want to happen.
True.
Yeah, that's a funny story actually because you can go to GameFAQs and look up an S-rank strategy for pretty much every mission in this entire game, and it'll give you a pretty reliable strategy for beating all the missions, but with this mission, they just have no strategy. There is no way to predict how Sturm will react. He will never behave the same way twice.
At least we can predict Max's medium tank taking out Sturm's medium tank on the road.
Medium tank is a simple beast. It rolls up, it murders things.
Just avoid bombers.
It knows its place in the world.
It's not the fastest thing, but does the job. Smashes stuff.
Yeah, it just rolls in.
So at this point, I'm thinking, that APC and infantry, I'm thinking, well, Andy's going down. So I'd better be in position so that Max can capture stuff before Sturm can capture it. That's really what that APC is there for. But then, later on, I get a better idea for what to do with that APC.
Ooh.
Something to do with an APC?
Ah,
That isn't delivering infantry to capture things?
perhaps it will be crying.
I don't know, I got nothing.
We'll just have to see.
I'm stumped.
But you're making some pretty good headway with Max up there.
Max always makes pretty good headway, what can I say? Yay, damage.
Every little bit helps.
It's no Meteor strike, but
Yeah.
Sturm's got a lot of guys, and they all took 1 damage.
Yeah. I think Tsunami got a bit ridiculous in the sequels when they made it do fuel damage as well.
Oh,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
it's fun.
A lot of things in Advance Wars got a little bit ridiculous when they scaled them up for the sequels.
I mean, in some ways it works. I do like how I still like the descriptions of Dual Strike someone said where we made this game balanced by making everyone ridiculously overpowered.
Yeah. There's something to that.
Although somehow, I mean, as I say, this is always the one that gets me. You know, when people worked out that actually Grit was a lot worse than people thought he was. It seems like he suffered a lot from Dual Strike, and the way they changed the way they did the CO power bar in Dual Strike hit Grit a lot because suddenly artillery weren't contributing as much to the power bar.
Huh.
I think the big thing was that because the power bar charges much faster in Dual Strike, the battles go a lot faster, which, given Grit, is pretty much the slowest CO anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Well, here comes another one.
I like how I built up this nice looking army with Drake on the right, only for Sturm to go, that's a nice looking army.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Would be a shame if something would have happened to it.
You know, I think the biggest balance mistake that they made for doing all the sequel stuff was actually Days of Ruin. They made such a big deal out of, like, hey, we know that Dual Strike was a bit ridiculous, and okay, let's have some... It was the thing they said, let's have some CO powers that don't break the game. And then they gave us that... Hello.
There's my cell phone going off.
They gave us ringtones.
Right, so yeah. And then they gave us that one CO who has can get plus 50% strength and defense to units in a 2-zone radius. Essentially becoming almost invincible. And then if you decide that you want to give that up, she essentially has Meteor Strike.
Again, the metagame keeps changing on this stuff from what I saw, because Tabitha's now been downgraded a few ranks. I think the one who's top now is the little girl one who what's her name?
Penny.
The one who, not Penny, the other little girl one, the one on your side.
Oh, Isabella.
Yeah, she doesn't actually fight in campaign, but apparently she's the strongest to it.
Oh yeah, she's got a load of stuff going for her. Like, she gets a strength boost, a unit movement boost, and an indirect boost.
To pretty much everything. It's a solid all-round power.
Yeah.
Wow, if Sturm had stayed focused and not went after Drake's guys on the right, he could have routed Andy this turn.
He gets pretty close.
Yeah. I don't think Advance Wars AI is capable of working towards route. I think it's kind of like the Fire Emblem one in that manner. It only sees oh, I can murder lots of units. And it doesn't quite grasp that if I did this, I murder all of the units.
Andy's down to 1 unit.
This is really bad.
Yeah.
Also, there's no way we're getting that airport. We're going to keep that airport for now. That's problematic.
Little bit.
Yeah, not bad.
All the good news is we got some backup on the way.
Yeah.
And it's looking like if not for that backup, you might actually get routed next turn.
We should be able to hang on then. Just about.
In other news, the world's most timeliest Max Strike.
Except I don't even do that much of it in the end. It's kind of sad what happens here.
Oh, don't say that.
I mean, yeah, that AA's dead. That's cool.
But how can you not get...
Oh.
Oh, I'm starting to see what went wrong.
Can't even hit that airport back. That fighter on the HQ! It meant I had to go round it rather than through it.
See, I bloody tell you that thing would be trouble.
I got killed 2 units.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at this point I'm thinking, oh well, that's Andy done. But not even quite sure what I was doing here. Oh, just checking to see if that was enough damage to do anything, but nope.
Yeah. Well, those tanks should be able to slow him down a bit.
Give him some alternate targets. Speaking of alternate targets,
it's our very favoritist alternate target in the game.
oh,
Well, that one actually looks like it's doing its job.
well, I think I might check something out eventually, but we'll see. Anyway, let's at least disrupt some supply lines a bit.
That's some good max force right there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's good to know this turn wasn't a total wash.
Oh, and AA can't hit the bomber either.
There seems to be a lot of that. More. Oh well, I suppose I had better try and stop. Stuff.
I swear it's actually against some sort of law if you can do 159% damage to a unit to not do it. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I don't know, I'm sure I read that somewhere.
Can't not do it. Can I take this? Can I take it? Can I take that sit? Can I take that base? My free HP. Dude.
Yeah,
I mean, I can merge a guy on top of him.
good enough.
You'd think.
Oh, it depends on whether Sturm actually notices it or not.
In some ways, it'd be quite nice because that would be one less thing to attack Andy.
Yeah. Still, you want Drake stuff to be getting attacked a bit,
That's true.
so then you can get those sweet, sweet tsunamis.
That bomber could be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the only bit of anti-air equipment Drake currently has is that 2 HP AA.
That's not gonna help.
No.
Oh, I don't think you're getting that base.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It would be nice to see what's going on up at Sturm's HQ right now, how many troops he has ready to start marching.
I bet it's lots.
I'll bet.
Probably. At least Drake's got a fair few troops as well.
Yeah, he's not...
Even after that meteor strike, he's recovered okay. Yeah, there we go.
Well, he doesn't have as many as I thought.
Oh, he's making a point of building medium tanks, and now he has an airport in our space.
Yeah. Also rockets, just sort of chilling. Well,
Aww.
I was thinking it might survive. I mean, I know Sturm's got extra attack, but we have some defense there, but no.
Not happening.
It is not to be. Honestly, I was a bit puzzled you didn't build an AA on the last turn with Drake. Just could have done with some.
That's a fair point, actually. I just thought, hey, I have enough money to build a medium tank. Let's build a medium tank.
Because that bomber's going to be running amok down there.
And he's still suffering.
As is his job, essentially.
All he has to do is hold the line. That's really his main role here. Just don't die.
Somebody go look up that speech from Mass Effect. Because seriously, sometimes you need a motivational speech while playing this game.
I can't even begin to recall how many times it took me to beat this fight. It took quite a while to win.
Yeah. Like, I got so brick-walled by this fight just on my first time through normal campaign. And then I found out that advanced campaign exists.
Oh.
And
Hey!
then I did the first mission and I was like, nope, 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 nope.
Good news is 2 mechs survived. Randy, that turn that time. So we were twice as well off as we were at the start of the last turn.
Yeah.
That's like 200% as many mechs.
We even managed to... Yep.
Ooh.
Kill this other mech. Just do what you can, Andy.
At least you have that full health max medium tank there.
It's reassuring.
AA, huh?
Well, there's that B-copter and nothing else is looking like killing it, so...
Oh no, there are with those 3 medium tanks there, I would have classified that as maybe a little bit wishful thinking.
You mean 2 medium tanks, right?
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah, as long as that medium tank stays healthy, you're going to be routing his armored divisions pretty quick in Andy's territory, at least.
Also, we don't even... Oh.
Ooh.
Well, I'm thinking of using it as a distraction. But, I've just realised something. I don't need to move it.
Oh, nice.
That just drag that medium tank completely out of anywhere sensible.
It still would have been smarter, I think, to put the APC on the city so that the tank has to come onto the plains to attack it.
That's fair.
That's what I would have done.
Yeah, it's still gonna get a bit uncomfortable down there.
Hmm.
I guess it's like, oh, okay, you could have done more, but also you could have done a lot less.
Huh.
You just gotta try and drag things out of position, you know, take it turn by turn. Whatever gets you through the next turn.
I definitely would have attacked that medium tank with the one you just retreated.
I think it was in rocket range.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been in rocket range.
So I wanted to try and make the medium tank come over here a bit, maybe, but...
That changes the equation a bit.
The thing is, Max is superstitiously terrified of rockets, so he didn't want to engage it.
Oh, I can see how he would do that.
So, how are you going to get rid of that bomber? Not with this guy.
Well, at least it won't be able to one-hit kill infantry anymore.
Yeah,
That was the plan.
there are worse things you could have done. So yeah, at this point, I would have also try and capture that base, and the bomber might get distracted by the infantry again.
Ooh! You took out a 50 HP tank with a 4 HP medium tank, and you had an expected damage of 40%? You get...
Yeah, the luck goes up to 10%.
Huh.
Yeah, and I think that guy was, like, on the bad end of 4 HP.
Yeah, I
So to
think the
speak.
infantry did some chip damage to him.
Yeah, there's a lot of things playing into it. It's like the hidden HP value, the luck, and the fact that it's a Sturm medium tank.
And I think the thing about defense is that it factors into luck. So if you have low defense, then luck becomes higher.
That bit I didn't know.
But if you have high defense like Kanbai, then luck becomes lower. I think that's a thing.
That was just pretty surprising.
Yeah, I'm not as up on my advanced wars mechanics.
I had a lot of practice.
Another thing I would be doing right now as Sturm is just building a lot of regular tanks, because he's not quite wealthy enough to just throw medium tanks at you constantly. But a full health regular tank, Sturm regular tank, that's still a lot of firepower.
Just like build 4 tanks a turn.
Exactly.
He covered up his airport.
Oh!
God damn it.
We're safe for another turn.
All those air units that Andy was planning on building.
I know, right? All those B-copters that cost 3 times as much as a mech.
Well, at least you finally got that tank off your base.
One less thing to worry about.
And another APC dies a hero's death.
Cheers. Well,
You're not in too bad a shape right now.
could be a lot worse, couldn't it?
Oh,
Yeah, things are looking up.
Tune in next time.
exactly.
Suspense.
Took me so long to get this thing to work in Avicent, I'm telling you.
Gotta love Avicent.